Mike Jeffries, the former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, is facing serious allegations. He and his partner Matthew Smith are accused of sexual misconduct. These accusations stem from parties they hosted. The parties took place between 2009 and 2015. Young men say they were lured to these events. They were promised modeling opportunities. Instead, they say they were exploited. The FBI is now investigating Jeffries and Smith. Witnesses have come forward with disturbing accounts. They describe a pattern of manipulation and abuse. The allegations paint a dark picture of power dynamics. Young men, eager to break into the modeling industry, were allegedly taken advantage of. Jeffries has remained silent on the accusations. He has not made any public statements. The investigation is ongoing. It is unclear what legal consequences Jeffries and Smith might face. However, the allegations alone have tarnished the reputation of the former CEO. The fashion industry is watching closely as the investigation unfolds. The parties were extravagant. They were held in various locations. Some were in London, Paris, and Marrakesh. Guests were treated to lavish accommodations and expensive alcohol. Many attendees were aspiring models. They were often flown in from other countries. Witnesses describe a predatory atmosphere at these parties. Alcohol flowed freely. Drugs were allegedly present. Young men were allegedly pressured to drink and use drugs. This made them vulnerable. The parties were often hosted at private villas. Security was tight. Guests were allegedly discouraged from taking photos or talking about the events. This created an environment of secrecy. It made it difficult for victims to come forward. Several alleged victims have shared their stories. They describe being exploited by Jeffries and Smith. These men say they were lured to the parties with promises. They were told they could get modeling jobs. Some were even offered money to attend. One man says he was flown to Marrakesh for a party. He was offered thousands of dollars. He was pressured into sexual acts with older men. Another man says he was drugged without his consent. He woke up to being sexually assaulted. These stories paint a disturbing picture. Young men eager to please were allegedly taken advantage of. They felt pressured to engage in sexual acts. They feared jeopardizing their careers. The power dynamics were skewed. Jeffries and Smith held all the cards. Section 4, Abercrombie and Fitch responds. Abercrombie and Fitch has condemned the allegations against Jeffries. The company is trying to distance itself from its former CEO. A spokesperson said the company is committed to inclusivity and ethical business practices. The company has launched an internal investigation. They are reviewing company records. They are also interviewing former employees. Abercrombie and Fitch has pledged to cooperate fully with law enforcement. Abercrombie and Fitch faces a difficult road ahead. The company's reputation has been tarnished. They will need to work hard to regain the trust of their customers. The company's response to this scandal will be closely watched. Section 5, Industry-wide implications. The allegations against Jeffries have sent shockwaves through the fashion industry. The case highlights the dark side of an industry often associated with glamour. It exposes the vulnerability of young models starting their careers. The modeling industry is built on aspiration. Young people are often willing to go to great lengths to succeed. This can make them vulnerable to exploitation. The industry needs to change. There needs to be more protection for young models. Agencies and companies must create safe environments. They must have zero tolerance for any form of harassment or abuse. Section 6, Seeking Justice. The alleged victims are now seeking justice. They are bravely sharing their stories. They want to hold Jeffries and Smith accountable for their actions. They also want to protect others from experiencing similar abuse. The FBI investigation is ongoing. It is unclear when or if charges will be filed. However, the victim's decision to come forward is a step towards justice. This case is a reminder that sexual abuse can happen anywhere. It can happen to anyone. It is important to believe survivors. We must support them as they seek justice.